As many of you know, Chronicle and the new Fantastic Four director Josh Trank has been scheduled to direct the second Star Wars spin-off movie due to hit AMC Theatres in 2018, following Star Wars Episode 8 in 2017. However, a few days ago, Trank announced that he was leaving the project when he and Disney released the following statements. Trank said the following: "After a year of having the incredible honor of developing with the wonderful and talented people at Lucasfilm, I'm making a personal decision to move forward on a different path. I put a tremendous amount of thought into this, and I know deep down in my heart that I want to pursue some original creative opportunities. That said, the Star Wars universe has always been one of my biggest influences, and I couldn't be more excited to witness its future alongside my millions of fellow Star Wars fans. I want to thank my friends Kathleen Kennedy, Kiri Hart, Simon Kinberg, and everyone at Lucasfilm and Disney for the amazing opportunity to have been a part of this. May the Force be with you all." A Lucasfilm representative later responded with the following comments: "It was a privilege to collaborate with Josh. We are grateful for the energy and love of Star Wars that he brought to the process, and we wish him all the best." John, your thoughts on the departure of Josh Trank from the Star Wars anthology movie?
What's really funny, there's a lawyer I used to work with, and he had this thing that he used to call fragmented belief. And fragmented belief is, according to him at any rate, fragmented belief was when you have a group of people, and out of the million or so facts and situations and contexts that are out there, we have maybe access and visible only about 12% of it or 5% of it. And what he says fragmented belief is we take, even though we know we can only see 5% of the story, we develop a total belief system around that 5%. And so here's our situation that we've got right here with this Trank thing. I am dubious of this press release for a couple things. And it's kind of funny because the morning this came out, look, I get phone calls several times a week claiming stuff, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. Sometimes those calls turn out to be true. Sometimes they turn out to not be true. I'm not in the scoop breaking game, so I really don't pay much attention to it. But Christian Harloff is in the room right now. I was chatting online with Christian Harloff, and I was telling him, it's like, I got this call the morning this came out, before this announcement got made that Trank was leaving. I got a phone call that said, Trank has left Star Wars. Apparently he left it weeks ago, and he completely caught Disney with their pants down. He said people at Disney are pissed. He didn't give them any warning. He just cold-cocked walked, and that they're really mad. Now, there are other stories that have been floating around out there about rumors about problems on set of Fantastic Four, that had something to do with it, about him leaving. What we all need to do, though, is take one step back and understand that although we see certain pieces of the puzzle, we have to understand that there are probably 1,000 other pieces to this puzzle. That being said, it's understandable that as fans, we can only operate on what we see and what we have in front of us. And what we have in front of us stinks for several different reasons. Here's the thing. I believe there are 3 different possibilities here, but let's limit it to the facts. What do we actually know? Okay, we know this. Just a couple of weeks before Star Wars Celebration came out, Disney, Trank, they all came out and said, Trank is coming to Star Wars Celebration with Gareth Edwards. Just a few weeks before. Other fact, rumors, I'm talking about facts and rumors, but the fact is that rumors about the Trank's on-set problems with Fantastic Four go back months. I mean, I think we were still in phase 2 when those came out. I mean, it was long before we moved into our new studios here. That's been out a long time ago. That's been around forever. So let's look at this for a second. If we've got 3 possibilities. Possibility number 1, the phone call I got was true, which is that Trank just up and left them with no warning, whatever, left them with their pants around their ankles. Option number 2 is that we take these statements at face value. Okay, Trank is literally saying, I thought about this. I probably talked to the Disney people. This is what, okay, let's assume that that's one of the possibilities that these statements are true. Option number 3 is that there may be some validity to the whole thing that Disney dumped him because of the Fantastic Four issues and all that kind of stuff. Here's the thing. None of these situations make anybody look good and raise flags for me. If Trank up and walked without warning, without anything like that, after being handed the opportunity of a lifetime to participate in and direct a Star Wars movie, then that doesn't look good on him, nor will it bode well for his future. Just simple as that. If the other extreme situation exists, that this has to do with, the situation of unrest on the set of Fantastic Four and his behavior, stuff like that, then it's really concerning to me for a couple of reasons. One, it would be really concerning to me because of the alleged behavior of Josh Trank, if that's true at all, which I've never bought into, by the way. I've never bought into those rumors. But if they're true, It makes me concerned about him. The other thing, though, it makes me very concerned about Disney and their process. If Disney knew about this 5 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever, and then up to just 2 weeks before Celebration, I mean, Disney could have just said, hey, Gareth Edwards is coming to Celebration. Nobody would have wondered, why isn't Josh Trank there? Because Trank's movie ain't coming out till 2018. Would have been simple. So just 2 weeks before Celebration, Disney's like, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. And then they decide to pull the trigger. It makes you wonder, how well do you vet your director choices? Because you knew about this other crap ages ago. So it doesn't look good on Trank. It doesn't look good on Disney. This is just a mess. There's no pretty way to paint this unless the statement coming out from Disney and Trank is true, which I don't personally buy, but I'm not dismissing it out of hand. Anyway, Maude, you followed this whole thing very closely for ages. You saw these statements come out. What do you think is going on, and what's your reaction to them?
My first reaction reading the statements was, yeah, right, which is the disbelief. And you know what? I don't think it helps that you're at the Celebration, you're going to see Josh Trank, and then the day of, he's like, worst flu of my life. That's obviously now a blatant lie. And it's like, well, you're lying to cover up something.
That's assuming, we're assuming that.
That he wasn't sick.
That we're assuming he wasn't sick, and we're assuming that the statements are false, which I agree with you, but we're assuming.
But straight away, there's just questions propelling everywhere. Who really left the project? Did Disney see Fantastic Four? Are they buying into the problems that were happening on set? Is he really wanting to be a part of this franchise? You're right. This is the best opportunity of his life. You would suck up any kind of anxiousness or beliefs or bad feelings about it, and you do the job. I think that this whole thing could have been solved by not announcing Josh Trank now. Let Gareth Edwards have his time. Why announce Josh Trank so soon?
Or any director for a 2018 movie.
Hold that close to your chest. Why'd they play that card? Because now they're in this position, and you're right. People are seeing that this is a red flag kind of area happening, and they're like, oh, Disney, you usually have, everything sorted out, and you're usually ahead of the game. This is a crack. But I was talking to Christian about it, and he said that the way that they handled it's very smart, because they're like, by the way, Josh Trank's leaving. Here's a statement. Hey, May the 4th, look at this, Kylo Ren, look at this. And you're like, in a week's time, it's Josh who? I'm going to say that's all Christian's thought, and that was a very, very, it's smart. He's completely right. So handling it, they've done the best job, but everyone else is just going, I want to know the truth.
Mark.
And is Josh a Tranky Pants? That's all I want.
Tranky Pants.
They handled it very Office Space, which is that you fire somebody on Friday. Studies have statistically shown that there's less chance of an incident, and then they can come out with this Vanity Fair thing and everything is cool in the May 4th Star Wars universe again. I think something definitely smells bad here. If for no other reason, look at the two statements that they just put up on the screen. You had this long, nice narrative from Josh Trank, like, oh man, I love Star Wars, it's so cool, I had a great year with Disney. Very short statement, very to the point. I think that this is largely because of the rumors, whatever they are, of Josh Trank's behavior on set of Fantastic Four and going forward. I think that sometimes, even if Disney was aware that there were rumors about Fantastic Four and how it wasn't a great set, maybe you take somebody in because they believe in this guy's a filmmaker, and they say, we think that once he gets on board with Star Wars, he's going to clean up his act. Now, again, I don't know Josh Trank personally. These are all rumors. This is my gut. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm going on here.
But let us all, with all this stuff, let's keep this in mind too. Fragmented belief. Let's keep in mind that there is a very strong possibility here. We're only seeing 1% of what's actually going on. And there's probably, look, I said there's 3 possibilities. He left with their pants down. He left mutually understanding, or he got dropped. There is a 4th possibility here, which is a billion other possibilities. So let's just keep in mind that just because we only see this, that we must build our entire narrative around it. So let's keep that in mind. But as film fans, all we can do is speculate about the stuff we know, and this is the stuff we know.